Talk to yourself like this and you will manifest everything you desire very, very fast. Hello, my beautiful superheroes. Welcome back to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. If you're new here, hi. I'm Scarlet Grace, I'm a manifestation coach, and I help people break through their limitations and manifest their heart's desires. In this video, we're going to talk about how you should be talking to yourself if you want to manifest your dream life and all of your desires very fast. The truth is that we talk to ourselves all day long, and what we say when we talk to ourselves can not only make or break the manifestation that you're setting in motion through other methods like visualization or affirmations or scripting, but it is a very powerful manifestation method on its own. I mean, think about it. You talk to yourself 24/7. It's like a constant stream of consciousness, and this stream of consciousness manifests for you 24/7. So imagine how powerful it is when it comes to manifestations if you harness the power of your inner talk so that you can make it work to your advantage 24/7. Self-talk is the most underrated manifestation technique. And not only that, your self-talk determines if you are your best friend or your worst enemy. What is going on inside your head, the conversations that you have with yourself, the things that you think about yourself, the things that you tell yourself, determine if you are going to be emotionally stable or if you're going to be suffering from low self-esteem and a self-concept that doesn't help you feel good and manifest the things that you desire in this reality. Scientists say that 99% of the thoughts we have each day are exactly the same as the ones we had the previous day. And those thoughts are predominantly negative. Now this makes sense because our mind is wired for survival. That means that our minds are wired to notice the things that are going wrong, the things that could threaten our survival so that we can pay attention, so that we can avoid danger and fix the things that could threaten us. Even though this mechanism is very important and is the reason the human species survived for so long, this mechanism in the modern world isn't actually helping you be happy, be stable emotionally, have a positive self-concept and manifest your desires in your physical reality. The reason for this is that all your thoughts and all your self-talk is not just mindless chatter. Anything that goes through your mind, all the things that you think, your subconscious mind takes as commands. Even when it comes to humor, if it is self-deprecating, even though you mean well, your subconscious mind doesn't understand humor. It just takes everything you say as a command, so you manifest more and more of the reality that you think about and the reality that you talk about. If you want to feel good, if you want to build a self-concept that makes you feel good, feel confident, and allows you to manifest any desire that you have easily, to manifest your dream life easily, I want you to make the decision right now to stop being your old self, to stop talking to yourself inside of your own head the way you have been talking to yourself your whole life. So how do you need to start talking to yourself in order to manifest the things that you want? The first rule about how to talk to yourself to manifest the things that you want is do not try to tell yourself something that feels completely outrageous to you right now. Because if you do that, your subconscious mind is going to reject it. And you don't have to do that anyway. So let's take the example of you wanting to manifest being a millionaire. If right now you're broke, if you tell yourself, I'm a millionaire, your subconscious mind is going to reject it because it is too far away from the state you are currently. Instead of that, start telling yourself that you are abundant. Not wealthy, not a millionaire, abundant. Abundant and prosperous, and start pointing out to yourself the things that you already have. It doesn't matter if they're big things or small things. This is not a comparison to anybody else's accomplishments. This is all about you. What do you have in your life? What do you have that proves that you are abundant? Do you have a place to stay? That means that you're abundant. Point that out to yourself. Do you have nice new clothes maybe? Maybe you bought new clothes recently or a pair of shoes. Point that out to yourself. Look at my amazing shoes. I feel so rich and so abundant and so beautiful when I wear those shoes. Do you currently have a job? It doesn't matter if it's your dream job. It doesn't matter if you make enough money or not. If you have a job and you make money from it, point that out to yourself. I am abundant. Here's an income stream. money flows into my life all the time. The more you point out to yourself all the ways that you are already abundant, the more abundance you create, the more wealth you create. And the more wealth you create in your life, the more believable it becomes to you that you are actually wealthy. Until you get to a point where if you think, I am a millionaire, it doesn't seem that far off. It actually feels believable. And when it feels believable, it manifests very easily. If you focus your self-talk on how you're already abundant instead of focusing on what you lack, you're going to manifest abundance instead of lack, because what you put your energy towards, this is what shows up in your physical reality. There is no way that you can have a thought with an emotion attached that will not manifest in some form in your physical reality. That means that if you focus on what you're lacking and you feel the lack, you manifest more lack. If you focus your mental talk on what you already have and you feel grateful and you feel abundant because you already have those things, you're going to manifest more and more abundance. Something else that you can focus on is all the ways you're talented and accomplished already. Think about all of your talents, point them out to yourself and tell yourself, of course I can have a better job. Of course people are willing to pay me because I do an amazing job. Of course people are willing to pay me what I'm asking for because I'm so talented, I'm so good at what I do. Focus your inner talk on what you already have, whether that's physical possessions, income streams, personality traits that others appreciate and value, gifts and talents and skills and degrees, anything you have. Focus on that instead of what you're lacking. The more your self-talk is focused on that, the easier it becomes to manifest abundance and prosperity and wealth. Or let's say that you're manifesting love, whether that's a specific person, a new person, your ideal relationship, any of those. Instead of focusing on what you don't have right now, the relationship or the specific person, instead of rehashing old bad memories about failed relationships or arguments with a specific person, focus your self-talk on what you already have. You're an amazing individual. Focus on how beautiful you are. Focus on what a nice person you are. Focus on all the things others appreciate about you. You're an amazing person. Of course, it is natural for you to have love. You're very lovable. Focus on the proof you have that you're lovable. Who loves you in your life? Who cares about you? Who appreciates you? Focus on those people and feel grateful that you have so much love in your life, and point that out to yourself in your inner talk. Say to yourself, I have so much love in my life. I have so many people who love me. I have so many people who care about me. I'm so lovable. And it doesn't matter if you have just one person in the whole world that cares about you and loves you right now, or a million people. It doesn't matter if you only have your dog to love you right now. Instead of focusing on the people you don't have, focus on that dog that loves you. And if you focus on that, more and more love will come into your life. More people will come into your life that actually love you. And the more people that come into your life, the more proof you can give to your subconscious mind that you're a very lovable person, and the more love you're going to manifest. And it will feel natural for you to have your ideal relationship with your ideal person. Because why wouldn't you? You're amazing and you fully deserve this. Now, there are some traps that we easily fall into when it comes to our self-talk, and I'm going to mention them here so that you can be aware of them and avoid them. One of the things that many people do that doesn't help their self-confidence, their self-concept, and manifesting their desires easily is comparing themselves to other people. Listen, other people's accomplishments have nothing to do with you. Other people's accomplishments do not invalidate your accomplishments. Other people's talents do not invalidate your talents. Your life is yours. Their life is theirs. It doesn't matter what other people have done. It doesn't matter if somebody else has accomplished something that you wanted sooner than you. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you don't get to have it just because the other person already has it. It's not relevant at all. And if you focus on that, what you're doing is you're talking yourself into lack and limitation, and you're reinforcing limiting beliefs. This isn't helpful. It doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make you manifest faster. It stops your manifestation because you're focusing on what you don't have. Instead of focusing on what other people have or do not have, focus on you. If you're going to compare yourself to anybody, make that somebody be past versions of you. What has current version of you accomplished that past version of you was really struggling with? Maybe 10 years ago you didn't have a job and you were desperately looking for one, but now you have a great job. You have a job that you love. Or maybe you're not making more money, but at least the job that you currently have is one that you enjoy with amazing coworkers, while before you had awful jobs with a toxic environment. Celebrate that. Don't focus on what you lack. Focus on what you've actually accomplished. Now, if you used to have something in your life and you feel that you lost it, that is no excuse to feel bad about yourself. Let's say that you grew up with money, but now as an adult, you're not making enough money and you're constantly broke. That is no reason to beat yourself up, because listen, even if you were not the one making the money, you manifested being in that family, having that family income. You were part of that. There is nothing in your reality that you haven't manifested, whether consciously or unconsciously. And you know what that means? That means that if you had something in the past, even once, you can manifest it again. You already had it, you already manifested it, and you did so without even knowing how to manifest. Isn't that amazing? You're so skilled when it comes to manifesting that you made it happen without knowing how manifestation works. Imagine the miracles that you can create now that you actually know the mechanism of how to manifest. Just tell yourself, I know I can have it. I manifested it in the past and I didn't even know how to manifest. Now I can definitely manifest it. This is easy. This is natural for me. And that brings us to the second thing that people do in their inner self-talk that makes them feel bad and stops their manifestations. And that is replaying negative events from the past. The past is the past. You can either revise it if it bothers you, or just let it go. It's not what is currently going on. And if you're going to be rehashing old memories, make that be memories of when you were happy, so that you can feel that this happiness is your birthright. This happiness is something that you can have now. Feel free to replay any positive event. Replay events where you are happy, a nice vacation, when you had a great time with friends, when people told you something nice, when people said, I love you. If you replay the positive things in your mind, you're going to get more of those positive things in your current reality and in the future. Another thing that many people spend a great deal of time on when it comes to their inner self-talk is imaginary conversations with people that are actually arguments. So for example, you want to ask your boss for a raise and you're convinced your boss is going to say no. So you keep having the conversation with your boss where you ask for a raise and your boss says no, and you're trying to come up with all the arguments that you're going to use to persuade the boss to give you a raise. This may make sense in terms of trying to figure out the best way to have this conversation, but it doesn't actually work because it is an inner argument. It is essentially a mental scene that you play over and over and over again in your mind. And how do we manifest? By playing a mental scene over and over and over again in our minds. So if you're having this conversation over and over and it's an argument where the person isn't giving you what you want, you're just manifesting this conversation to go that way in physical reality. What you can do instead is you can have that conversation, but not in the form of an argument. You can have that conversation in a loving way. Assume that the person you're talking to in your mind is somebody who deeply cares about you, who is actually very willing to give you anything that is in their power to give you, if only you ask them. So don't go into the mental conversation with the expectation that your boss is going to say no. It doesn't matter if you've had the conversation physically with your boss before and they said no. It doesn't matter if this is a person that was difficult in the past. You can imagine them however you want. How about imagining them like a loving person? How about imagining them as a person who cares about you, as a person who wants to give you that raise, as a person who actually appreciates you? How about rehearsing a few conversations in your mind where your boss praises you, where your boss is telling others that you are the most valuable employee that they have in the business? When you play those conversations, it starts becoming more and more believable that if you ask your boss for a raise, they're going to give it to you. Always, whether it has to do with your boss, with a stranger, with your specific person, with a family member that is being difficult, always have conversations from the assumption, this is a person that truly cares about me. This is not an enemy. When we're upset, when we feel that somebody is not understanding our needs and is not giving us what we want, we tend to have those conversations in our head that are arguments as if we're fighting with an enemy, somebody who is deliberately trying to hurt us or deliberately keeps us from having what we want. This is not true and this is not helpful. So imagine that this conversation that you're going to have is with somebody who deeply cares about you. Maybe they did something that hurt you. Maybe you don't feel valued, but that is not intentional on their part. Think about somebody who truly, truly loves you. Somebody who you know, if they did something that hurt you or upset you, it would 100% not be deliberate. Maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's your mom. But think about somebody who you know would never consciously try to hurt you. They truly have the best in mind for you and they want to do the best for you. How would you have that conversation with your boss if you knew that your boss cares that much about you, that they would never deliberately hurt you? The whole tone of the conversation changes. The emotional background behind your words changes. How you feel about the conversation changes. Even the words you choose to explain what you want to say, they change now that you know that you're talking to somebody who does not intentionally want to hurt you. Talk lovingly about the other person in your inner conversations, and the person will start being more loving towards you in your physical reality. Have conversations with them from a loving point of view, and this is how your conversations will start going in your physical reality, because anything you focus on in your self-talk manifests in physical reality. Try this and come back and let me know in the comments what you've manifested. And if you haven't already, then subscribe and hit the bell icon, because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life.